and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight we're going to have some fun because we're going to do some clean and simple stamping. This was a special request by one of our members in our Facebook group, and I thought it would be fun to show you some of the stencils and different stamps and things that I like for making clean and simple cards, and what I consider to be a clean and simple card. Now, other people may consider different things to be clean and simple, but I find that clean and simple works best when there's just a single layer and some images on top, lots of white space, and just kind of making the most of your stamped images or whatever is your focal point of your card. Now, you can watch lots of videos on clean and simple stamping and you might get lots of other ideas, but that's what we're going to focus on tonight. Playing with some of those small stamps that you have in your collection and doing some simple grounding ideas on the back of your cardstock. So, before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Good morning, after evening, noon, everybody. And welcome.
How are you today?
I am better than horrible. And I'm also clean and simple.
Well, there you go. So you're perfect for tonight's technique.
I am right in there, yes.
Well, it's great to see you. Do you have a word of the day for later?
I do.
Oh, good. All right. Well, don't let me forget, okay?
Okay.
And also, don't let me forget that we need to draw a winner for tonight's gift card.
All right.
And if you're new to the program, we give away a $15 gift card at the end of every live. So stay around till the end, and we're going to give one away. And the way you enter to win is just to drop a comment or two in the chat. And Tom we've got this thing that like the comments all spin and then they just stop somewhere and Tom picks a winner. So we will be doing that at the end of the show. All right, well, let's get started right away. Now, with clean and simple stamping, I definitely love to use white cardstock. I find that white cardstock creates the best clean and simple look, although you can do clean and simple stamping on other colors of cardstock. For example, you may want to make an all Kraft card using some stamped images, maybe a little white colored pencil, or some popped up images on that white cardstock, and that certainly can be clean and simple. But for tonight, I'm going to be using lots of white cardstock. I'm going to be doing my little black shadow layers because I can't seem to get away from that no matter what. And then I think I'm going to put most of these cards on a white card base to keep it extra clean and extra simple. So with that in mind, I'm going to get my die cutting machine and we're going to start by cutting a couple of Master Layouts 2 panels. So Master Layouts 2 is a great size for clean and simple cards. And the reason I like this one for clean and simple cards is because it creates a smaller box in the center of your A2. So this is an A2 size piece of cardstock. And then your framing is going to be smaller toward the inside, where Master Layouts 1 comes closer to the edge. Master Layouts 2 limits the amount of workspace in here, and that just makes it a little bit easier to come up with a clean and simple card idea. Now, if you're new to the Intracut, and I see a lot of people in our Facebook group asking about the Intracut and how it works, I have my cutting mat down first, and I have my cardstock and then my die face down. And then I'm going to put the platform on top. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You could have the platform on top and lay your die down. Lay your cardstock on top, making sure the blade is blade side up, and then use your cutting mat. But you always want to cut into the cutting mat. So that's the important thing. So whether you flip it and do it the other way, or you do it the way that I'm doing it right now, you just have to make sure that the blade is always cutting into the cutting mat. All right. So there is one Master Layouts 2 panel, and I did run it through and back again because I have my tension set not too tight, and so I didn't really, I didn't want to take the chance, and I figured running it through twice always works, right? Oh, and happy Canada Day, my Canadian friends. I see Mary saying happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. We hope that you guys are having a great day and celebrating in Canada, right over the border, very close to me. Tom, you and I live close enough to Canada. And sometimes in the winter, I feel like it is Canada.
Yes, I'd like to bike it up there.
I know, yeah, we should take our bikes up there. We'll go visit Catherine and Jack with our bikes. Let's see how that goes. All right, so I'm cutting 3 panels. I think I'm gonna make maybe 3 little cards tonight. And then we'll see if that actually happens. We'll see how long that takes and what else comes of it. Now, I am going to cut 3 black panels right now because it's easy to do while I've got the machine up. And I'm going to use the plain rectangle die from Master Layouts 2. And I'm going to put that down, blade side up, and my cardstock on top. And then my cutting mat. Joan, you have 5 other die cutting machines. It sounds like you're able to die cut without a problem, even if you don't have the Intracut. However, if those 5 die cutting machines die and they don't work anymore, definitely get yourself an Intracut because you will not be sorry. All right, so we're gonna do another one here. I'm gonna do 3 of these, and then I think most of my die cutting will be done except any images that I cut. All right. Yeah, the Intracut's a good machine for, especially if you have arthritis, but you like manual die cutting. It's great because some of the electronic machines, not the electronic, the electric machines. Electronic machines are like a Cricut or a Brother Scan and Cut. An electric die cutting machine is like the Anna Griffin machine or the Gemini. And one of the things that people seem to struggle with those machines is embossing. So I love, you know, even if you have an electric die cutting machine, it's always nice to have a manual one for some of those techniques and also for, you know, embossing folders. I don't know. It's kind of my preference. I have a Gemini and I really like it, but I tend not to use it as much as I use the manual one. And I think it's just because it's heavy. You know, it's big, it's heavy, and I don't have it set up all the time. And this I can just, like, you know, pull onto the desk when I need it. I also love my mini Intracut. I love that for just about everything. I'll probably use that later today. Okay, so let's start with one of these panels. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, ooh, this is a new one. How fun is that? I've got a brand new, it's not really new. I used it in my Simon Says stamp class, but I didn't ink outside of the line, so it stayed pretty nice. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but on the sticky mat, the Gina K Design sticky mat, we have 2 patterns here. We have A and B and then C and D. And it tells you what size the boxes are down here at the bottom. So line D is 3.5 by 4 3/4, which matches Master Layouts 2. So Master Layouts 2 is the horizontal one here, and Master Layouts 1 is the vertical one. Now, I really don't need to worry about that for what I'm doing today, but I just wanted to point that out. So I am going to work with it this way. Now, I want to show you a couple stencils that I feel are great for creating grounding areas on your card. And what a grounding area is it's an area that makes an image feel like it's no longer just floating free on your card. And let me show you what I mean, all right? So you can even go back later, rewind, and kind of compare these. But let's say, for example, you wanted to just do something very simple on your card. You wanted to have a flower, and you wanted to have a greeting. All right, so let's do a flower and a greeting. Let's say you wanted to do something like that on your card. You wanted to make it very, very simple. And I think that's really elegant, actually. But there's something about it that needs something, right? So what we tend to do when we're making more complex cards is we tend to create layers. We'll grab an oval, we'll grab a circle, we'll layer that up together, we'll raise it up with foam squares, and then we'll put these panels on top. Let me grab a quick card over here just to show you what I'm talking about. So for example, let's just say you wanted to do, let me find one here that I think is good for my description. I might not be able to find the perfect one, but here's an example. Okay, this is a very lovely card. If you just put these plain images on here, like let's just get a couple images. Let's say you just put that there, and you put this here, and then you put a greeting. All right, that's pretty, but there's something about it that doesn't feel complete the way this does. And that's because we've got a grounding panel on this card, which is this oval, right? Your eye is drawn to the center of the card. It feels more finished because we have the oval. Now, if we want to create a card that's very simple like this, let's say you just wanted to use this much of it, you need to do something to ground that image and make it feel like it's complete. And that's where stencils really come in handy. So I have a couple stencils that I tend to go to quite often. The brick wall is a great stencil. I use this one more with things like maybe trees or little scenes that I want to build. Maybe I have a little car and a Christmas tree or something. A brick wall, a little bit of brick wall makes it just great for grounding. The Harvest Flourish, you see me use this one a lot as a grounding panel. It's just a beautiful all-around pattern. It's great for Christmas cards. It's great for floral designs. It's great for just about anything frilly. Scattered Hearts. I love the Scattered Hearts stencil because I feel like it's great for, you know, teen girls, young girls, anybody that you want to send love to, Valentine's Day, cute little animals. It just gives it that cuteness about it. All right. Cobblestone. I like cobblestone more like if I'm making a masculine card and maybe I have a sailboat or I have a bird that I want to use or something like that where I want it to have a little bit more of a masculine feel. Now remember, you know, guys like hearts, guys like flourishes, so it's really up to you, but if you're looking for that more traditional thing, cobblestone's a great one for that. The Decorative Double, I use this a lot. I don't know why I have 17 of them in here, but I think I taught a class and I took a bunch of them with me. I don't need 17. Decorative Double is a great one. It's got two different stencils on here. You can use either one of them for grounding, and you can also extend it. So if this isn't enough for you, or this isn't enough for you, the way the pattern is designed, you can stencil a little bit and then you can move the pattern and line it up and stencil more. And you could use this like right across a huge card if you wanted to. So all of these make really nice grounding panels or grounding images. So let's go with the Decorative Double here. And I just grabbed it because I thought it was a good one. And I'll use this side of it because I'm just going to add a little bit of something here. Now let's talk about colors for your grounding images. So for the grounding part, you don't want that color to be wild, all right? You don't want it to be bold. You want it to be soft and subtle, almost like an embossing folder would give you that kind of feel, right? So colors should be very soft for that grounding panel. So I like to use Sea Glass. I think it's a good one. I like to use Sandy Beach. I like to use Kraft. And my all-time favorite is Soft Stone. I tend to use Soft Stone a lot. Now, a lot of it depends on the colors. So how do you pick the colors? Well, for example, if I was doing maybe something like this, maybe I wanted a flower like this. I wanted a big happy birthday. I don't have a birthday here. I don't think I do. I might. Let's see. Let's see if I have a birthday before I give up. Before I give up hope. All right. I don't have a cutout birthday. I'm looking through all my millions of die cut words that I have over here. And unfortunately, birthday isn't one that I have. But I do have a die set that works great for that. So let's just imagine for a second that I cut out, you know, the word birthday. And I know that's backwards, but okay, you can already see that this looks better because there's a pattern behind there. But if I wanted to use something like this, you know, I just wanted to keep it super simple. There's a lot of warm colors in here. So I would probably go with something like Sandy Beach for this, or maybe even Kraft. If I was doing more pinks or blues, maybe something like this design here, and I wanted to have something more like this on my card, then I would probably go either with sea glass, in this case, because there is some turquoise in there, or stormy sky. So kind of think about what the color palette is that you're using. Something like this butterfly, because I did gold on the foil for this, I could really do either. Like I could go with gray because there's a lot of cool tones in there, and the gray would look really pretty with that butterfly, even though there's that gold in there. But I could also do something like Sandy Beach because of the gold. So soft stone is a cool gray. It's not a warm gray. It's a cool gray. So it definitely works better for cooler tones.
Do we have a date on the next release yet?
I think it's going to be July 22nd, I think. All right, so here's like something else. I've got a few little bits and pieces here. So let's say I just wanted to do a very simple design going down the front of the card like that. And I wanted to have just a little strip sentiment going across, or maybe even something more like this. You know, grateful for your love and support. I feel like the colors in here lend themselves either to sea glass or soft stone, preferably soft stone. So you can see how like the different colors really make a difference. And these are all relatively small images, you know, smaller stamps. You can even use super small stamps like the stamps from our new kit. And you can cluster a couple images together. Like maybe, you know, maybe you have a teenage daughter and she loves her Stanley Cup, she loves her journal, and she loves her instant camera. You could cut those three out and you could cluster them in the center, but then by putting a grounding panel behind there, it kind of finishes everything off. So let's make a quick card here with one of these ideas. And I'm going to use my ink stand, and I'm going to use some soft stone. Soft stone by far is my favorite. I even use it with warm colors sometimes because I just like it. Now, I like this basket weave pattern on the Decorative Double stencil for what I'm going to do, because I want to do I'm going to do this idea that I just showed you. And this was from an old technique video that used ink cubes just to kind of do some crisscross motion over cardstock, and then I just cut them out with our foliage. It's called, what's it called, Brianne? I know Brianne Loveland's here. Thank you, Brianne, for being here. But it is a set of foliage dies that we have. If you type in the word foliage dies, you will find it. And Brianne will find it, I'm sure. But with these kinds of things, I tend to think about like this basket weave also could look like a trellis. It could look like a little bit like, what's the board that's in front of Alicia's house, Tom, that she has around her deck? The crisscross design.
Right.
You don't know? Well, there's boards like that, you know, that you can, that like vines and stuff climb up. So I think this kind of feels like that. So yes, there it is, foliage fillers. Thank you, Brienne. See, Brienne knew. She already knew. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I know this looks like there's a lot of black on here. I did rub a lot of the color off, so it should be fairly light now. I use my black blending brush for my grays too.
Everybody said lattice.
Lattice, thank you. Thank you. That's the word I couldn't think of. All right. So I'm just doing this now. When I do a grounding panel, I don't go over the whole card and I don't go side to side or top to bottom. I just do it in the middle to create an area that takes up for that oval or for that circle that we're not using. See that? Just a little mist of color. Just a little something. Yes, lattice work. Right, you guys have it. Thank you. And then now when I place these leaves onto my card, let's try to do them like in a decorative style. It's okay if they overlap a little bit. But when I place them on there, I could even use 2 and then just add the greeting. When I place them on there, now they feel like they're leaning up against something. It doesn't feel like they're just hanging out in space. So I hope that that makes sense. And then you can put your simple greeting on there. I could divide these up and put my greeting right in the middle. And that would be a really pretty, clean and simple card. So let's turn this into a card. All right. But you can see that soft stone is just such a great color. And clean and simple cards are great because they're fast. If you don't have a ton of time and you need to make a fast card, you can make a clean and simple card. The other thing about clean and simple cards is I think, in my opinion, embellishments really, really make the difference. Adding a few little embellishments around your design once again draws your eye into the area where your focal images and your greetings are residing. And it just brings it all together. So we'll do that too with this clean and simple card. Okay. So another thing about clean and simple cards is I like to add a little dimension to those cards with some foam squares. So a card like this, I feel like by adding a little lift to the card, I like this one better. Adding a little lift to the design really makes a difference. So, and this one's easy to put foam squares on because these little 1/4-inch foam squares just fit perfectly on the leaves. Now I know my stem will just be hanging in space, but that's all right. And you can even go like more simple with this card if you wanted to. You could put one image and a greeting. You don't even have to do 2. But I think I'll do 2 just because I kind of like the way that looked, the way it kind of wrapped around top and bottom, and then putting the greeting across the center. I don't know if I'm going to use this greeting yet. I actually feel like a tiny strip sentiment might be really nice too for a clean and simple card like that. And we have so many strip sentiments in our collection. They're already pre-done, pre-designed sentiment strips that are printed with toner. So you can even foil them if you want, but it's great because for those of you that love the look of black sentiments with white print but don't like the mess of embossing, then these are just great. I cut mine down a little bit, but you know, we could use anything. We could make this a sympathy card, which might be really nice to do. This might make a very nice sympathy card. That's the other thing about clean and simple. I think when it comes to doing something like a sympathy card, clean and simple cards are really good because they're just not busy, you know, they just get right to the point. Yet they're so lovely. Yeah, so these leaves I used Tranquil Teal, and I believe I used some Lucky Clover, maybe apple mint. But I have a video on this technique, so it's pretty easy to do. So let's see where we want this. We're going to put this one right here. Just tap those down. And you'll see the amount of dimension in here. And the other thing I wanted to say about clean and simple cards. Clean and simple cards doesn't mean fast all the time. That's something that, you know, there's a difference between a fast card and a clean and simple card. You can make a fast card that's not clean and simple by using layering stencils because they look fairly complex. And, you know, you can have a lot going on with a layering stencil, and you can do that lightning speed. You guys have seen me like whip through a layering stencil really quickly. So let's just see how a big greeting looks. Like thankful. Oh, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Let's make this a thank you card. I like the way that looks. The other thing about clean and simple cards is sometimes a really big greeting is just what it needs, and other times a really small greeting is what it needs. And you kind of have to just lay it out, take a peek at it, and see what you think. In this case, I think either one would have worked. I actually think I'm going to have foam squares where I don't need them. Oh no, I just avoided the right spots there. All right, so I just have to make that straight on the card. And this is also, if you wanted to do clean and simple cards like this, it's a great use of all the bits and pieces that you make when you have no mojo and you just start cranking out stamp designs and greetings, not knowing what they're going to be used for. Clean and simple cards are a great way to make use of those. You know what? I want to make sure that I think that's straight there. Sometimes I have to look in the camera to make sure that it's straight. That looks pretty good. Okay. So now that's so simple. You could put a colorful base on there. And let me show you. I don't have the right color, but with clean and simple cards, every once in a while, I like to use a color. But when I do, I like it to be a muted color. Like, here, let me get a piece of white behind here. Like gray. I feel like gray doesn't take away from the clean and simple nature of the card. See how that looks? This is Moonlit Fog, but I would prefer to use Soft Stone. I just don't have any here. Let's see what other color might work really well. I think Apple Mint might be a little bold for it, but not necessarily. Goober on that. Apple Mint would be very pretty with that. Apple Mint really brings out the green. You want to see something? I find this so fascinating that when you have something like Apple Mint, everything looks really green. But then if you switch to like a turquoise or maybe teal, let me find Tranquil Teal. If you switch to Tranquil Teal, the leaves start looking more blue. Look how much more blue they look now. That just brings out all the teal, right? And then this just brings out all the green. It's so cool. So make sure you always look at your cards on different colors that are in the designs. So a lot of people are really liking the gray, huh?
It's really nice that all the activity of the card is concentrated in the middle, and then you have all that space around.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Is that a clean and simple thing?
That's the clean and simple theme, yes, that you're kind of just focused on a small area of the card, but there's enough going on in the card that it doesn't feel unfinished. So this is the Moonlit Fog. I haven't used Moonlit Fog in a very long time on a card, so let's go ahead and use it. Even though I see a lot of you really like the teal and some of you really like the Apple Mint. But I do think that it's kind of fun to see, you know, the different colors up against it. But we'll go with the gray just to kind of keep this simple. And I do feel like that looks really pretty. And then we're going to put just a couple little embellishments around it, and you'll see how nice this design is with really no layers. I mean, as far as like layering a bunch of things on the front of the card to make it interesting. It's interesting just by itself. So I'm going to take a few of these out of here, and I am going to use silver. I'm going to do a few little silver embellishments here. So I do like to look at them first because I don't necessarily trust myself, but like one there. I have to clean the end of my thing here. One over here. Now, because this is such a symmetrical card, I almost feel like we could do like 4 embellishments and it wouldn't be like against all the rules. However, I do kind of like the way that looks. Just with the 3. Let's just do the 3. We'll stick to our rule of 3s. But it is one of those cards where, because of the symmetry, you could get away with an extra on here. Okay. I am not good with my left hand and glue. But I'm better than horrible. Okay. So there we go. Just that little bit of embellishment really makes a difference for the clean and simple nature of this card. And by having that little grounding space back there, that just takes up for any layer that you would need. Okay, so there's a clean and simple card idea. Now let's do another one with something completely different than stencils. So there's other ways to create a grounding area that you don't have to use stencils. You can use a background stamp. That would work for sure. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. I am going to get an acrylic block here, and I'm going to create a grounding area out of some ink. So this is kind of fun. I'm going to use some ink cubes for this. Got my ink cubes here. And I will use turquoise sea, jelly bean green. I know, shocker, right? And should I use some purple of some sort? I think that might be cool. Let's use, do I have wild lilac in here hiding somewhere? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to hold this up with my one hand. I think I might have taken my wild lilac out for something. And I definitely want to use ink. And I feel like dark lilac's going to be too dark. Where's all my lilacs? All right, let's switch gears. And let's go with like wild. Do I have them somewhere else? Maybe I put them somewhere else. Let me put this down. I want to use one more color here. Oh, here is light lilac. That might work. I need a second one of these. Oh, here, this is what I wanted to use. Wild lilac. I got this tray from Organize More, and it's great, but I have more ink cubes than it holds, so I need to get another one. Okay. So now I've done a technique similar to this where I've inked up the entire block. And then I've spritzed it with water, and it's made a block shape onto the cardstock, which looks really cool. And that gives you a big area like that. And it looks awesome. But I want to go smaller than that. I want to go different than that in a way. So, you know, I really should be looking at the colors in my flowers here that I want to use, more so than the ink cubes. I got hooked on the ink cubes, but maybe I should use like some pinks and yellows and greens instead. I think I'll do that. So I'm going to use, we'll try some Dusty Rose, and we'll also try some Butterscotch. And then that looks like Jelly Bean to me. So maybe those colors will look good. Light carnation might look good too. I'm gonna like scrape all of these onto a piece of paper first to see what I would like the most. What seems to match the most. Okay. So let's take a piece of scrap paper and let's look at the colors. So here is light carnation. Oh, does this have tape on it? This might have tape on it. Oh, I hate when they have tape on them. There we go. That one didn't have tape. All right, so here's the light carnation. Oh, this is like some kind of glossy paper there. Here's the light carnation. That might be a little orangey, but it might be okay. Here's dusty rose. Oh, this has tape on it. Let me get my open dusty rose. Okay, so here's dusty rose. And then butterscotch. That'll work. And jelly bean. That'll work. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I feel like the light carnation, I like the dusty rose better with this flower, don't you? Doesn't that feel more like it matches than this one? That looks too peachy. Okay. All right. No, the rule of threes has been around for a million years. And it is a graphic design thing that they teach when you go to graphic design school, that people just like to see threes and fives. We like, our eye is drawn to things. For some reason, it's like we see more balance in odd numbers than we do in even numbers. And the other thing too, just as a crafter, just as a person that's trying to craft, you know, you're not always going to be perfect with your alignment if you're doing things to be even. So when you have those odd numbers, it's a little bit easy. Okay, so let's do this in order that it's not going to be ugly. So if we put these two colors together and we blend them, they're going to be ugly. So bubblegum would be way too purpley pink. So that one won't work. I mean, we can look at it, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be... I don't have the cube, but just so that you don't think you can already see how purpley pink that is compared to this peachy pink. So that I don't think bubblegum will work on that one. All right, and then what I want to do is I want to create like just kind of a splatter look. Not necessarily a splatter, but like a dash of color. So I want to go in an order that green and yellow will work together and yellow and pink will work together. All right, so I'm just going to put some color here. And then I'm going to add some color here. And then add a little bit of green down here. All right. And we can always go back and add more. That's the beauty. Now you will need some water for this technique because we want to like move the color around a little bit. So I'm going to just put a little water on that and let it just move a little. And then we'll just stamp it right here. Okay, now I'm going to clean this and I'm going to add a little bit more. So let's add a little bit of pink, like over here. And we'll add some more green. Just up here. And we'll spritz it again. And we'll give that one more little, like that. Okay, so now we've got kind of a little mess going there, but right now it looks kind of wild. What I'm going to do is grab my heat tool. Let me plug it in. I've got to move around the corner here for a second. If my voice trails off, I apologize. Oh my gosh, I almost shut off the overhead camera.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to heat that up a little bit just to dry it. Now, some of you, this will work a little better on watercolor paper, but I don't have watercolor paper. And if you don't care, this is fine too. Now, should I be brave and try to do a little ink splatter here? Spatter, not splatter. Should I be brave? I have some black paint. Oh, I think wow. It's got a skin on it. It's like pudding. It's got a real skin on it. Well, it's liquid in there though. Okay. So let me clean that off so I don't ruin my card later. I'm going to try it. I think I have a paintbrush somewhere. I should have a paintbrush. I'm not prepared for these things. I don't do this kind of stuff enough. So, what if I don't have a paintbrush? I thought for sure I had a paintbrush. You know what? I cleaned and I think I threw the paintbrush away because it was all hard as a rock. Oh, here's a makeup brush. Would that work? Would a makeup brush work? Would a makeup brush work like this? We could try it. I could just like flick some color on it and see what happens. Why not? Let's just be brave and give it a try. All right, I'm going to take a little of this paint. I'm going to put it on here. Oh, I'm going to get really dirty too. Mindy, what am I doing? I don't even have the right kind of paintbrush, but I'm taking a shot. I'm going to take a shot on a scrap piece first to see if it's going to look the way I want it to look. All right, I'm going to do it with my finger. It's kind of cool. Can you see it? It's really... God. I really shouldn't be allowed to craft alone without somebody else here who knows how to do this stuff in the room with me. I need a better paintbrush. I need one with like better bristles. I don't think I have one. So maybe... Ooh, I do. I found something. I found something. There we go. We're going to use this. Because I just want to put a little bit on this. Just a little. I don't know why I have a makeup brush. I think because I bought like an eyeshadow set. And I was going to do some techniques with it. And I did. I have a video on how to use eyeshadow on your cards if anybody's interested in me being crazy. But I bought a makeup brush set just in case I needed it for my techniques. All right, here we go. I may have put too much water in this, but you know, I'm just going for it at this point. There we go. That's good. That's what I wanted. I have to live like this now. All right, let me put my makeup brush away. I better never use that as a makeup brush. It's going to be a hot mess. This was the eyeshadow that I did the techniques with. I did this, and I
put that brush with my toothbrush.
Put it with your toothbrush, for sure. I'm going to have to soak this fingernail. I might need your toothbrush later, Tom, to get the paint out from under this nail. That's terrible. I would not do that to you. Again. Anymore. All right, let me clean up my space here. It worked. It did what I needed it to do. I just needed a little something. But this is kind of another fun, just little bit of a background. Again, I do feel like watercolor paper is a little bit better for this technique because you can see the paper's a little warpy. But we'll just use a lot of tape and we'll flatten it out. It's still wet on the back. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate the thumbs up. Tom and I appreciate that a lot. That really does help the channel. It gets people... YouTube has kind of an interesting algorithm where it's very hard to figure out. I don't know. Mindy's in the chat. She probably is in the same boat. Like, sometimes you'll have a video and it doesn't have a lot of views, but for some reason it has a lot of thumbs up, and then that video gets shared more by the algorithm. And other times you could have a lot of, I don't know. It's hard to figure it out. They make the algorithm a mystery for sure. Okay, so I do appreciate it. I do think that when people click the like button, the thumbs up button, it does make YouTube say, okay, so if people like that, we could probably share it to other people. And that's how new card makers come into our hobby. And we need new card makers to come in because we want to stay around forever if we can. All right, so I have like 5,000 yards of tape on the back of this to try to get it to be nice and flat. I think we're going to be okay. We'll see. Luckily, that paint is dry. And that's not too bad. I can flatten it out a little bit. All right, so now we kind of have that little bit of paint splatter there. And now I can add a flower there. And then I can pick a greeting that's a little bit shorter, maybe a little more stubby, and put it off to the side like that. And you see, once again, that little spatter of paint and the little bit of black that I added there, that just all kind of creates a grounding image again. Have I ever tried mica powder on your cards? My cards? Yes, I have, and it's amazing. And I really need to get more into some of these techniques. I just have to do more for you because a lot of those kinds of techniques I play with and I'm like, oh, they would love this. And then we have a new release and I forget about it. So definitely I will get some of those kinds of tools in the future and products to share with you. And you don't have to go with it, but sometimes it's just fun to see somebody else use it and you never know what's going to make you go, yeah, I want to try that. Okay, so for this one, we could go with the white card base, and that would really make it clean and simple with our little popped up word. Or we could go with Dusty Rose. Let's take a look at Dusty Rose. It's going to make the pink really show up, though. There's the pink. See how like all the pink all of a sudden is the main thing? Now, if we move to Butterscotch, then that little bit of Butterscotch that's shining through is going to like all of a sudden pop out a little bit more. See, now we see that yellow a little bit more. I think that's really pretty. And then we can look at Jelly Bean. This way you have the full look at everything. That is not Jelly Bean. Here's Jelly Bean. We'll look at Jelly Bean. So I like the green. I think I agree with all of the people saying no to the Dusty Rose. We can look at Innocent Pink. Innocent Pink is a good color with Dusty Rose. But I think we have so much pink. It is pretty. It is pretty. But I think we have so much pink in this card that it would be nice to either focus on the green or focus on the yellow. I agree. Jelly Bean is happy. Jelly Bean is very happy. Butterscotch is happy too. But I do agree. I think the Jelly Bean green is the ticket. So for this one. Now remember, these are all just my opinions. Others may vary. If you make this card and you want to go with a completely different color palette, I am dying to see what you guys do. So make sure that you share your cards in our Facebook group, because we'd love to have you over there, and we love to see any Gina K Designs inspiration. I just put a block up on my light there. Okay, so yeah, this is a little warpy. Again, watercolor paper doesn't warp quite as badly. It warps though, still a little bit. But we'll live with it. Might be a good time to use like liquid glue so you can cover every little last square centimeter. All right. Yeah, I like the green too. The green's a good choice. And again, it's still a clean and simple card, even though we're using a colored cardstock. I don't know. I feel like because we went with a little bit of color in the grounding panel, and it's not a sympathy card or anything like that, that it is fun to have some color back there. So let's see if we can really get this to lay down. Now you guys know that I use black on every card I make. It's just a thing for me. I feel like if it doesn't have a little bit of black in the card somewhere, that it just doesn't feel finished to me. But other people, especially when they're making clean and simple cards, they don't use a lot of layers at all. Some people don't even use one layer. Everything is just single layer. That's clean and simple for sure. That's not for me though. I like to have a little bit of something extra. So you're always going to see that little bit of black on my cards. So that might be a hair above clean and simple. Clean and simple-ish. Oh, yes. Somebody upset that I didn't use butterscotch? I'm sorry. I do lay awake at night hoping that nobody was upset that I didn't use their color. You're going to see me on Thursday, and this finger's still going to be black from the paint. I guarantee it. No matter how many showers I take, it's just, you know, it's going to be a thing. Okay. So we're just going to put that right up the side here, which I really like that. Now, I do like this grateful greeting here. Grateful for your love and support. I like this grateful greeting too. This is from the Graceful Greetings. Grateful for you. So do we want to go with the block letter style, or do we want to go with the scripty style? Vote now, and I will put my ink cubes away while we vote. Scripty or block? Well, I guess it's kind of like not fair because this one's getting the billing. There we go. There's the block style. And then we're going to put a few black embellishments on here. Even though we have the black spatter, we're still going to do that. Okay, scripty. Oh, scripty's winning. All right. Scripty is the clear winner. Thank you for your vote. Oh, we do have some block coming in. But all the scripty people just got their vote in so fast. I know sometimes it's weird with lives too. Like, I feel like on YouTube, everybody watching on YouTube gets the information before people on Facebook. Like, there's a definite delay on Facebook. So I see a lot of answers come through on YouTube, and then a little bit later I can see the comments coming in from Facebook, and I think it's just because there's a delay. I don't know why. It's not something we do. It's all broadcasting at the same time. Okay. All right, so... All right, now people are saying that they don't like the scripty one, that the block carries more weight. I saw that comment. You might be right. You might be right on that. The block does maybe it looks a little bit like, it looks more like the flower in a way, you know, like the flower is real graphic and that's kind of graphic. All right, we'll go with the block. I know I just disappointed everybody who really, really wanted the scripty. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Maybe you're changing their minds.
Maybe they are. We're allowed to do that. So I heard something today from a person that I really, really respect. And he said to me that he learned that one of the greatest signs of intelligence is the ability to change your mind, to think about it, listen to other perspectives, and say, yeah, you know, that makes sense. That's like a sign of high intelligence, to not be set in your ways, but rather being able to listen to somebody else's perspective and have a change of heart. And I think that that's something that, well, I'm sure everybody can work on. I know I can work on, and I will work on that. Listening to other people's perspectives and looking at it from a different perspective, and sometimes it makes sense, like this greeting. It makes sense. And there's a reason that it looks better. It just kind of works better with the style of the flower. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, I know. It's hard though, because I feel like as we get older, and I'm speaking about myself now, as we get older and we get a feeling or a vibe that we think, well, I have a lot of experience, so I'm going to use those three right there, all small ones. I have a lot of experience. And I think it happens a lot, like, you know, just as a mom when I'm talking to my kids, right? Or, you know, maybe a school teacher talking to her students. We feel like we've got a lot of experience, so we probably know more. And we do know more about a lot of things, but we also, oh wow, I'm doing this really weird and backwards. We also come from, like, you know, I saw this meme and it was like, be gentle with me, I'm from the 1900s. I'm from a different generation, so I'm using my generation. I'm looking out my generation eye holes at the situation and looking at it from my perspective. I don't know what it's like to grow up as a teenager with social media. I don't, you know, so it's good to listen to other perspectives, right? All right, so they're clean and simple. Just a little bit of splatter in the background and spatter on top of the splatter, and then a simple stamp and grateful for your love and support. So 2 very simple cards, and the whole idea of the grounding panel in there, not needing that oval, that circle, that square. All right, let's make one more. We'll make one more cute little card. And this time, let's try something a little different. Let's get that last panel here, and let's use a background stamp. But we're not going to ink the whole stamp. So let's find the appropriate background stamp to use here. So let me grab my backgrounds. I have all my backgrounds in here. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Not labeled yet, because I change my mind so often. Okay. So I'm thinking about using... I have a lemon here. I have a lemon, and then I have a foiled greeting that says, "You're so sweet." And I believe this is from the You Give Me Butterflies. Is that a poly glaze, Brianne? You Give Me Butterflies? I think it is, because I've got like some shiny things here too. Somebody tell me if that's a poly glaze design. We have so many of them now. So I thought we could do something really cute with that. And it's so simple, but you guys know how much I love lemons. And I also think that I think like a little orange flower would be cute with it too. I don't know if I want to use that one, but I feel like there's like little orangey, yellowy flowers on lemons because I have a little lemon tree at home that's blooming right now. I thought that might be cute to add that in there, but I don't know. I think maybe just the lemon by itself. Oh, thank you. You like my nails? These are just press-on nails. But thank you very much, Pat. All right. So I'm going to do this, and I just wanted to know what I was going to use so I can find the right background stamp for it. So why don't we try Petite Flourish? That feels viney, and I want to look at one more thing. The music is really fun too, but I don't know if that's appropriate for the lemon. This is also kind of cool. The vintage filigree behind the lemon might be kind of cool. But let's go, you know what, ooh, look at this idea. What do you think of this? The elegant script. Is that too elegant behind something cutesy? Probably. Probably. Let's go with the Petite Flourish. That was my first instinct, and we'll give it a try. Now, it's a good one to use too, because unlike, you know, certain ones like the sweater, the close knit, or the polka dots, or, you know, lines, we don't have to worry about doing this straight because this is just so twisty and crazy that it doesn't really matter. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take an ink cube, and let's find an ink cube that will work for this. I think I'll do maybe some Kraft, or that's going to be the wrong yellow. Besides, there'll be a lot of yellow in the card. So let's go with Kraft for this. What color's this? It's Moonlit Fog. Moonlit Fog wouldn't be bad, but let's just do Kraft for this. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, yeah, I think gingham would look good. Like a lot of different things would look good, but I just don't want something with like a really, like a pattern that I have to get straight, because I don't think I'm going to be good at getting it straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of stamp this randomly, like in a little bit of a circle-y square. Rounded square circle. All right, now I can see it here. I know you guys can't see it, but I can see it, and I'm going to just try to...
That would be a rectagon.
A rectagon. Yeah, definitely. And I'm just kind of putting pressure like more in the center here. We'll see what this looks like. If it doesn't look good, we could do something else. But we'll see. I'm not going all the way to the edge, although some of the image might print to the edge. That's kind of cool, right? A rectagon, Tom. There it is. Okay, so Tom, they're asking for the word of the day. So while I clean up here a little bit, do you want to do a word of the day?
Well, of course. Time for the word of the day. Okay, today's word of the day is disdain. Disdain is the word of the day. And if you wanted the definition of disdain, you might ask me, what is disdain? And I might answer, that's where I dropped the meatball on the carpet last night. Disdain. What is disdain? Running to the dead space.
Yes, hurry up. I don't think I've seen anybody boo yet, but I'm not saying it couldn't happen.
Okay, here's another one.
Oh, no.
Redemption. No.
He's back.
The next one is planet. That's what you, if you want to take it, if you want to organize a trip to Mars and you want everything to go smoothly, you must plan it.
Back to the dead space.
Running to the dead space.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. They weren't bad words. They were good words. All right, so I don't know that. How do you guys like that? Do you like that? I feel like we need to pop it up for sure. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do that or do I want to do something like a big butterfly with the greeting? You're so sweet. Because somebody can be sweet even though there's not a lemon. Lemons aren't really that sweet. They're kind of tangy. We could do that with the butterfly. We'll look at that for a second. And then we will also look at, I've got this, which is kind of fun. These flowers here. And these are smaller stamps. Planet was better. Redeeming. Planet was better. He redeemed himself. That's pretty too. Yeah, the lemon? All right. I'm seeing the lemon. The lemon looks better. All right. The lemon looks better. I did want to make a lemon card today. We could just do a big happy hello. This is like breaking because it was all chewed up in there. That's cute, but I want to use You're So Sweet just because it's cute and it makes sense.
Well, some people are saying that the lemon isn't sweet.
Well,
but you usually mix it with something to make it sweet.
Yes. We're making lemonade. I feel like there could be like one thing behind the lemon that would be really pretty. Like an extra leaf or something. And I like that, but this has lines and that lemon doesn't have lines. So I feel like it doesn't jive together, if you know what I mean. Like it doesn't have the right, it's not the right combination. You got to have that no line look. And this is too blue, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just go with the lemon. We're going to go super clean and simple. And then we'll add, I feel like the lemon could be popped up here. Everything's getting popped up. All right, we're going to do it. Let's get the greeting down first, and we'll worry about the lemon once the greeting is down. Tom, I think Facebook is just coming in. Yeah, it's sour, true. But I kind of like the idea with the You're So Sweet. Now there's other fruits in that set that I'm using that what is this set called? It's a fruit set. I think it's called You're So Sweet. Maybe not. Brianne knows. She's already linked it 8 times probably for me, trying to get my attention, so say the right thing, Gina. Text me the name of it, Brianne. I'll look at my phone, whatever the name of this set is. And there's cherries in it, and there's strawberries in it, and I think that's why it works really nicely. But we'll use it for the lemon. It's okay. It's all right. Where's the orange flower? Would that work? Yes, the orange flower. The orange flower would work. That would be a very pretty card just with the orange flower. And also the pink flower would be a very pretty card. just by itself. That would be really pretty. There's just so much that you can do. But I really wanted to make a lemon card tonight, so I am going to do that. Brianne's thinking, really? You want me to text you while I'm working? I'm trying to work. I'm trying to figure you out. It's all right. And I think we could, because like the whole front of this card is so soft, I think we could probably do a lemon yellow card base to bring out the fun of this card. That is pretty. I like the lemon. I'm sticking with it. Now, let me get a yellow card base. Ooh, I have one over here. I must have been in a yellow mood. That's very fun, right? And then you get that nice little bit of shine in that. And so what we'll do is, to play off of that shine, we'll add some gold embellishments to that. But there are certainly a lot of... Oh, it's sending you a squeeze. Thank you, Brianne. Thank you for texting me when you're trying to work. Sending you a squeeze. A lot of you might have that stamp set from... I did a Let's Stamp Together, and I designed this stamp set for that class through SCT Magazine, and then we released it in our store. So a lot of you may have this one and just not really thinking about what's in your stash. But I am a big lemon fan. I have a lemon tree at home inside. I'm growing a lemon tree. And I have lots of Italian ceramics that I love, lots of lemons. Lemons are something that I really love. So I wanted to make a lemon card tonight. Now we could add some black. Let's just look at it. You know, if we added some black in here, it might play off of that background. But I do feel like in this case, because of the greeting being shiny, that if we add a little bit of shine up here around the lemon, that's going to, let me just dump a bunch of these here. Okay, that's going to add a little bit of gold toward the top of the card too, and that's, I feel like it needs it. I want a medium size one. Let's put that, tuck that in there. And put one there and one up there. That's what we'll do. And when I turn it into the light, you'll be able to see it. I know right now, like, you can barely see it, but you'll see it in a second. Okay. So we'll put one there, one here, and then one down here. Now we could add more. You know, we could go with the 5 instead of the 3, but 3 is good for now. I think that will work. And we'll take a look at all of these cards, but when I turn this into the light, you'll be able to see the shine, not just from the greeting, but also from these little gold embellishments here. So that's fun. Now for a clean and simple card like this, I might actually do like 3 lemons just to bulk it up a little bit. But again, there's hardly any layers on this at all, which I think makes it really fun. And these cards are, they're just fun to play with those kinds of backgrounds and just see what you can come up with. So there's 3 clean and simple designs using different grounding techniques and using some smaller stamped images that I just happen to have in my collection. So you guys like these? These fun? I hope you do. And if you do, we're just going to throw a graphic up here to remind you to give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind. We would love that. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because then you will never miss another video. Hit the notify me bell. and get all notifications, and you'll never miss another video. And then if you aren't in our Facebook group, we'd love to have you over there. The name of our Facebook group is Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. Just like that. Make sure you check it out. Come and join us. We would love to have you over there. We've got 49,000 plus members that love to share their Gina K Designs projects. So if you have one of our stamp sets or you have a kit and you're looking for ideas, it's a great place to go. And we'd love to see your cards using Gina K Designs over there too. And we're not done. We've got our gift card that we're going to give away tonight. But before we do, a big shout out to Brianne Loveland for linking everything and reminding me the names of all of our stamp sets. We have like 1,100 different products in our store. And when you get to be my age, it's hard to remember all of them. I know what I like, I just don't always remember the name. And I'm bad about labeling things. I have things that aren't labeled yet. I got to get on it. So thank you, Brianne, for all of your help tonight. But if you missed any of Brianne's links, you can always find our products on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right, Tom, let's give away a gift card. We're going to give away a $15 gift card tonight.
All right,
All
here
right.
comes the drummer. Tonight's winner is Teresa Jarvis. Teresa!
Yay, Teresa! Congratulations, Teresa. You are the winner. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com. Let them know you won the $15 gift card, and they will email that to you right away. Never expires. You can use it whenever you want. All right, everybody. Well, as promised, on Thursday, I will be getting on with the Master Layout series. So I will be moving into Master Layouts 15. We're getting up there. I hope you will join me. It's a really fun Master Layout set. And remember, even if you don't have the Master Layouts 15, you can always use similar layouts for your cards, but it's a great way to learn about the die set and see what it can do. So that is coming on Thursday, and we're going to have a very special surprise for you too. So stay tuned for that. That's all on Thursday. You're not going to want to miss it, I'm telling you. So make sure you join us. That starts at noon Central Time. All right, everybody, until then, thank you for joining us. Stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.